Good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital Nightly Strategy Podcast for August 28th, 2023. I'll start with the hybrid swing portfolio. So we're working on 30-minute charts and starting with Alcoa. And yesterday we had a intraday short that paid off. Today, no trade. I think there was a short in there. Span of control issue. I like the way this is compressing. I think there's a good chance for a turnaround Tuesday breakout tomorrow, either direction. No directional bias. You know, we're only 4% above sideways markets, and volatility's on the rise. So that's prime time for weakness. AI, I tried the Kata 2 continuation today. You know, was getting this stuff. Didn't pay off. Took a fractional loss. Disappointing. Caterpillar, I covered the I exited the SSC. It gave me a 1-2-3 exit at the Dragon for 2R. It's setting up nicely for a nice breakout. No trade in Cliff. The intraday short was definitely there. I mean, when you get the horns of the dragon and then it rolls over, you know, on a 3-minute chart, that one looked pretty good. Yeah, that was definitely a tradable move. Next up is CVS. The Kata 2 gave me a little dragon horns, never really followed through, started drifting. I took, that actually turned out to be 2R. By the time you look at that, the risk box on that was deceptively small. And so I decided to get paid. Dish covered the short for a scratch. Devon Energy, this was nice. We've had a really directional move in energy, and therefore in Devon. You have a nice base of support. You had a nice resistance level. Yesterday we took the intraday move to here and cashed it as it came back into resistance. And then today it gapped up, zoomed way up, and gave me a 1-2-3 exit or entry on the short side. So I played a standard risk, and it paid off. And I was happy to cash 2R on the intraday move, and it's holding right at resistance, which could also be support. So it would be equally likely for this to recover or to collapse. And so that's going to be a high priority trade for tomorrow. Electronic Arts initiated Kata 2 long. Emerging markets, Kata 2 long. Although if you called that an SSC, I wouldn't be offended because it does have lower lows. My first impression was this was Kata 2 because of this. And winter turning to spring. On the other hand, if you took a look at this on the shorter term, you would not be incorrect in calling that an SSC. The good news was that it closed well yesterday and today gapped up and continued to go. And it's cleared resistance. So this has every indication of going for it. And we're holding about 5R on that one. That turned out to be a really nice trade. Ethereum, no trade. Mexico, no trade. Brazil initiated a Kata 2 long, and that closed very well, holding 2R into the close. Now it's testing resistance right here, so that's really the question. You got to have about a 1 bar stop on that, 1 bar low to lock in +1. And we want to see that take off right away and then break through this 10-day high. If it gets above 32, I will add a second position. I'd like to see that be a decisive move. The Intel caught a 2, chopped around today, but it closed nicely, and we're holding 2. International Paper initiated a emerging dragon. The PSAR remained intact all the way through, so we'll hold that one overnight, +1. Real estate, no trade. Regional banks, no trade. Mattel, I covered the COTA 2 with a dragon exit for 1, 2, 3, 4R. Like that one. McDonald's, this gave me a supported fall crossing. So you have this lower high, PSAR break, rejecting at the same price level that led to this sell-off. And this was not really a persuasive long side. I mean, that was kind of grinding. So this looked like an opportunity to at least get down to 282. So we're halfway there, and we're holding +2R. If this fails through today's low, I will add a second position short, intraday only. Merck scratched the long, missed the short. Microsoft still holding the grinding COTA 2 from yesterday. Marijuana exited. So this is one that, yesterday in that last hour it went zooming up, and then today it just collapsed. So took the micro loss. NVIDIA initiated a COTA 2 long. Clean energy. I'm still holding the SSC long for +3. Rivian re-entered the COTA 2 long. Closed pretty well. Tesla exited the SQC for about an hour. That was a tactical trade, and today was such a low follow-through that just wanted to get paid, reduce overnight risk. Just completely have missed this one in U.S. Steel. Gee whiz. Should have been better. So I like this as a setup for tomorrow. I will take it long from here or short from there. Man, I normally get that. All right, so here is the sniper trade of the day, and we are on 3 minutes. So this was yesterday's close. Gap down to here, went as high as this, went as low as that, closed in here, and then broke down through the low of the opening 3 minutes. So he took the short, and then this is the standard risk box in Brazil. Check or hold. Took a half-hour loss on the immediate reversal and stopped and reversed. Took about a half an hour gain on that after the RL10 rolled over. So we're about flat for the day. Took a COTA 2 re-entry. So this is our higher lows. It's still holding in the spring. Breaks through the dragon, so I take that with the standard risk. Wanting to see it get up to here. Take the quick exit. About another minus 0.5. So I've had 3 trades with no follow through. Feels like chop. So I take a short break. Take the PSAR flip. It feels now like this is holding. You know, belly of the dragon, belly of the RL10, PSAR flip. So I'm going to initiate the long side. Winter turned to spring. So I'm long. I still want to get back to this price. But my executable signal would be a violation of the PSAR dot, right? So even though I'm using a standard risk on this one, my execution risk is only going to be about 0.4 of that standard risk box. And that's because of the structure of that trade. Take the RLXD exit, summer turn to fall. So we're now holding about +1 for the day. It really is more price relative to the question was, do I pay any special attention to bars with long tails as potential reversal? Only on daily bars when I'm looking at bottoming tails. On the intraday stuff, it's too noisy to really do that. But what I will do is I'm taking a look at, you know, the absolute value of price, really. I'm looking to see like that double top there and this double bottom right in here. Those are significant price levels to me. And so the fact that this one went from here back up into here, you know, I don't want to try to overread this and say, oh, bottoming tail. I'm really just saying, no, here was the support levels. And this is where the PSAR flip was. Those are the statistically significant price levels. And so it was really that this gave me a PSAR flip and the dragon rolling up and the RL30 rolling up and the fact that it held twice at that level. That was significant to me. The length of those tails doesn't really mean anything to me. That's rolled into how to interpret the turning points in the RL10. So the turning points in the RL10 are statistically significant, and that's what I try to pay attention to. Right? And so now this fact that we've got this almost like a kata 2, and now we have a nice move here, and now this held. That's making this feel like a kata 2. I should be getting long on this any second now. If I had gotten long on this, I'm kind of surprised I didn't, then this has got to be a stop and reverse. As it was, I waited for this and then took the stop and reverse with the standard risk. And again, my execution level would be this price level here at the PSAR flip. So at most, I'm only into this thing for about a 0.4. This is only going to be about a 0.4 anyhow. Okay. All right, so that's a standard RLXD exit for about half an hour. I stop and reverse. And that one takes off nicely. Now, this was the interesting moment here. This little sell-off was only enough to make the RL10 basically get flat. It was pretty steep up, and then this 4-bar reversal was only enough to make the RL10 flatten out. It never got through the dragon, never came down and tested the PSAR. And so when that happens, I take that as a sign of failure to fail. And so I'm already holding about +2. So that's an emerging dragon and a 2R battle drill. Continues to round. Looks like we have locked into a nice one. This one I was very close to pulling the trigger on because we have that second leg up. It holds inside the dragon and then resumes. So I add that position. And then when this one rolls over again, only 3 bars after that entry, I want to keep that one in the money. So I just exit everything at the edge of the dragon. And so that gives us about a 1, 2, 3, 4R on the first one, 2R on the second one, and about a 0.5 on the third one. And so after some initial grinding, after this initial bit of a grind and some tentative moves, that was a surprising move. But the standard play was this one. The fact that this thing peaked and then came back and then reversed without coming through the dragon and the PSAR, and the fact that we're at +2R, and this is a new high of the day, and it is higher than the previous resistance, that's the no-brainer trade. Let's take a look at the traders today. Here's Brian. PSAR flip, gets a tiny win, tiny loss, stops in reverse. This failure to fail is information, so he plays that, and it really just reverts right back to where it was. But the fact that he was so quick gives him a 1R. And the least surprising thing was that it rolled over right where it rolled over last time. So notice the symmetry. You see that a lot in the currencies. So that was in the Euro Aussie. Then in the Kiwi dollar, takes a, we'd like to have been in here somewhere. He was looking for, I don't know, this looks like it's a standard move of the day. That's, unless you're betting on the second leg down, and it didn't happen, so he gets out of it fast and plays the PSAR flip, and then basically scratches and micro work. So he nets about an R for the day on a kind of a grinding day. Here's Jose. Just want to notice the PSAR flip. The beginning of a significant down move. This gets you the fall. Now, I want you to notice when it comes to the zero line and stabilizes a little bit and then fails, it puts you into the winter. So you end up getting 2 legs down here. Enters the fall. Enters the spring, enters the dragon, crosses the zero line for the summer, He's able to get that at the PSAR flip and nails it for 0.6. That's actually a 2R execution, but 0.6. Nice work. No, that is a reasonable entry. You're getting ready to go into congestion. I would not phrase this as I want to hold winning trades longer. That's a belief that somehow the winning trade you're in is a predictor of a longer term winning trade. And we don't have evidence for that. What we have is the evidence, in this case, of very strong resistance and a measured move of 2 legs down and one leg up, 2 legs up. You know, there's only that much more reasonably available in that trade. And, you know, if you're holding 2 execution R, you might have used a 1 bar low, in which case you end up getting out here. But that's pretty good, and you're cashing 2R on a day that was sideways, right in the middle of the chop. So this is one where I don't have any heartburn with this. I think that's a great exit. Maybe on your best day, you could take the dragon exit. Think about converting this to the edge of the dragon and use that to lock in your excess gains. Because really, your outsized gains occur when the RL10 crosses to when the RL10 comes back to the dragon. This little period in here where the RL10 is north of the dragon, that's where your outsized gains are, and you got most of it. So I wouldn't, I would take that one all day. Same thing on this one. You pulled 3.5 execution risk out of this, and you were able to get the sweet spot of the channel. That's a lot of resistance, and that's a lot of support. So that's the size of the channel. And look how much of the channel you got. You got that much of the channel. You got more than 50% of the channel. So that is actually very, very efficient. And that's just a fact. All right, that's everything we got for today. We'll get this published and posted. I put the daily report on the site already. And we'll be ready for these guys tomorrow for Turnaround Tuesday. Take good care.